The rain came down harder than usual that evening, hammering against the windshield like an angry drum. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel, squinting through the downpour as wipers struggled to keep up. My daughter, Lily, sat in the back seat, humming softly to herself, tracing raindrops on the glass with her finger. We'd just left the grocery store, trying to get home before the storm hit full force. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. Through the sheets of rain, I caught sight of a figure stumbling along the roadside, a woman, drenched, clutching her purse like it was the last thing keeping her grounded. Something about her posture screamed exhaustion, defeat. Without thinking, I pulled over. "Dad, she's all wet." Lily gasped. "I see her, sweetheart," I said, rolling down the window a crack. "Hey. You need a ride?" The woman hesitated. Her makeup had long melted away, her expensive coat soaked and heavy. I don't want to bother you," she said, her voice trembling. "It's no bother," I replied. "You'll catch pneumonia out here. Get in." After a moment's pause, she opened the door and slid in. Lily immediately handed her a napkin from the glove box. "Thank you," the woman whispered, dabbing her face. "No problem," I said, pulling back onto the road. "Rough night." "You could say that," she muttered. "I just lost something important." Her tone carried a weight I didn't pry into. For a few miles, the only sounds were the rhythmic wipers and Lily's quiet voice from the back. "Are you okay, ma'am?" she asked gently. The woman turned slightly, her eyes softening. "Not really, sweetheart. But I'll be fine." Lily tilted her head. "My mom used to say that too, before she left." Silence fell. I glanced at her in the mirror, but she was still looking out the window, watching the rain. The woman's eyes glistened, not just from tears but from something deeper, understanding. "I'm sorry," she murmured. "That must be been hard." Lily shrugged. "Dad says people get lost sometimes. Like when it rains too much and they can't see the road." That made the woman look at me. There was a quiet recognition there, like she understood exactly what Lily meant. I dropped her off at the edge of town near the old hotel. Before she left, she looked at me again and said softly, "Thank you for stopping." "Not many people do that anymore." "Just doing what I'd hope someone would do for me," I replied. She gave a small, wistful smile. "Your daughter's very wise for her age." "She gets it from her mom," I said without thinking. Her expression shifted, a flicker of something like regret, and then she was gone, swallowed by the rain. A week later, I was mopping the cafe floor when my manager rushed in. "Ethan. Some big executive's here. Says she wants to meet you personally." I frowned, wiping my hands. "Me, why?" Before I could process, the door opened and there she was. The woman from the rain. But now she looked different, composed, powerful, her hair perfectly styled, her presence commanding. The CEO of Wilmore Industries. One of the biggest companies in the city. "Mr. Hayes," she said, smiling faintly. "I believe I owe you something." I blinked. You're. "Yes," she interrupted gently. "That night, I was coming from a board meeting. My company voted me out. Years of work, gone in an hour. I thought I'd lost everything. I didn't know what to say. But your daughter," she continued, glancing toward Lily who was helping behind the counter, "reminded me of something I'd forgotten. People aren't lost because they fail. They're lost because they stop believing they can find their way back. Her voice trembled slightly before she composed herself again. I want to invest in your cafe, she said simply. No strings attached. Just, kindness returning the favor. I was speechless. Ma'am, that's. She shook her head. Call me Claire. And please, don't say no. You helped a stranger when you didn't have to. Let me do the same. Lily beamed. Dad, that's the rain lady. Claire laughed softly, a sound lighter than I'd ever imagined she could make. Yes, sweetheart. The rain lady. Dash dash. Weeks passed, and the cafe began to change. New furniture, better equipment, more customers. But what changed most was the feeling, the sense of hope that filled the walls. Claire visited often, sometimes just to sit by the window with a cup of coffee, watching the rain. One afternoon, as thunder rolled in the distance, she turned to Lily and said, You know, your mom must be been very special. Lily nodded. She used to say that when people get lost, they find each other in the rain. Claire smiled faintly. She was right. Dash dash. One evening, after closing, I found Claire standing outside, staring up at the sky as drizzle misted the street. You ever think about that night? I asked. All the time, she said softly. I think, that was the night I stopped being a CEO and started being human again. She looked at me then, eyes glistening with the reflection of neon lights and raindrops. I thought I was lost, she whispered. But maybe I was just, waiting to be found. Dash dash. The rain fell harder again, echoing that first night. And for the first time in a long while, none of us minded. Because sometimes, it takes getting lost in the storm to find where you truly belong.